So it's time for event 2 in the evening. Let's see how we do if we can have another very successful 5 laps. So here we are, revving up at the start. Let's get underway with a massive really for the fans. Thanks for turning up. That's what you get, Herds. We're trying out start scene first and neutral as we do another big wheelie over that bump on the start finish straight. Seems to be better with first than neutral as our starts have been rubbish so far, but if you're really like that, it won't be much better, it'll be much worse as they lifted over the bumps of that right-hander. That's a bit scary. So definitely got to lift for this right though. It's all clipping the inside. Accelerate away. Let's go through. Next right. Oh, we can definitely take that flat out. Don't know why I lifted. Let's go for the right. Barely lifting. And through the left. Then just let's off the throttle and accelerate away in 5th gear. Can maybe get it down to 4th on it. Exit though. Already back up the seat of over 170 miles per hour. Over 180 for braking for this right-hander. And I felt the weird trying to get away there, so you kind of have to steer away from the corner, or lean away from the corner. Transfer that weight. That's pretty nice for the right, and then we're flat out over the roundabout through the left. And a slight lift off the front, but apart from that, it seems to be pretty good through there. It's now we're towards the city centre, towards the hairpin. Let's see, we'll lift before this kink starts. Seems to be the best way before we see the pavement. And just modulate the throttle through this left-hander. Accelerate away. We're braking just before the sign. For the hairpin, bumpy braking when you get into the apex, which is very bumpy. And accelerate away. Get maybe a bit early on the power, full throttle. As we go through the left, in 5th, slight lift. Then up to 6th, through the right. Then we've got the left, which is flat out, the right, which is flat out. Actually left, slight lift. The right is flat out though. But you're immediately braking for the tight right. Coming up. I do love how in these events, I love in this circuit more, just with the flow of the circuit. Yeah, you got that major stopping point in the middle and near the end, but apart from that, kind of seem to flow brilliantly into each other around this very high speed circuit. It's just the one that's based on the Ulster Grand Prix, isn't it? And we're thinking of another one. Because the Triangle Raceway, which we were meant to go to, that's based on the Northwest 200, I believe, circuit. Well, it looks like it is. As we go on to the second lap, we survived the lap, being very aggressive when it was over there, but that time's even worse than the last event, the first event. By a couple of seconds, so maybe not aggressive enough in the second half of that. Definitely in the first though. We don't need to be that aggressive if we have the speed advantage we had in the first event. Almost 2 minutes ahead of everyone else. Next thing for Kiloton to address maybe is opponent's difficulty. And so we've got the highest difficulty here, and the opponents are no match for us. It's only in certain sections they seem to be pretty good. Say that last section at the Isle of Man, in sections 3 to 5 as well, always seem to be best us at the moment. We're still on the Superbike through there, as it's going to be much better through there than on a Supersport bike. But yeah, in general, opponent's not that good. So go into the right, kind of trail brake slightly a bit more there on that occasion, to be much more stable going in. And on the exit, definitely can be fat. I don't know, I was lifting beforehand. So braking a straight line down to third. Accelerate away. Let's try and get it up to 6th gear. And approach 180 miles per hour. So I don't think we've gone under 130 so far on this lap. But now you do through this long left-hander. Especially this point where it really does tighten up. You can see around 120 there. Then under braking, using all that engine braking into the hairpin. And that's much better on the throttle, kind of delayed it slightly being on, really opening it up. Much more cautious now. Going to open up the throttle there, and that was much better. There's a lift through the left, out through the right. I shudder to think the average speed around this course. Because that's the thing with the Ulster Grand Prix, it's the fastest, I believe. Kind of premier road race. So we'll see at the end if we can figure it out. 12 kilometres. Takes around 3.5 minutes of that. Someone out there much smarter than I am can figure out the maths. To go through. Left and right with a little lift. Being a bit more aggressive into this final corner. Well, effective final corner for the Supersport bikes. Still got this kink coming up, but that's mostly a corner for the super bikes. And so we can just go flat out and on to the third lap. And that seems to be a much better that time. Around 3:30, I would say. Still not fast enough though. Was it 3:24 we did? In that first race. Definitely want to try and best that be closer to 3:20. So that's what we're just aiming for, more speed, as we're just riding by ourselves. And as you know from the first race as well, we've definitely got speed in hand. And so there we go, flat out through that right-hander. So you're over 180 miles per hour before we have to slightly lift through the left, for the right left, and then for the right. Well, you actually get to around 115 miles per hour through that right lifting. Okay, so do you go under 130 once? What's that? Braking for the right. Very wide entry. Because we were carrying too much speed there, we didn't want to turn in. Kind of just let the bike drift wide on its line there. But we got away with it. So now we brake. Get it down to 4th this time. Let's see if this is any different. Just bogs down slightly on acceleration, that's about it. So definitely keep it down to 3rd then, as we're not carrying the speed through the corner for 4th. Then I thought we weren't doing that through that right hand kink as well. We get it down to 5th. But that seems to be pretty good in 5th. As you go through the left, modulating the throttle. That time only a minimum speed of around 130. So we go get it down to 1st. Around 40 miles per hour before clipping the wall on the inside. Just wanted, high five some fans, that's all. The hairpin has halfway through this event now. So once again almost forgot to lift through that left, but you can see it's virtually flat out anyway. And it doesn't matter that we're tight into that right, because that's easy flat. It's not like this left-hander where the right-hander sticks out. Get down to 2nd. Nice easing of the bike into the apex. Accelerate away. Up to sit. Then through the right with the compression here. Have to lift early for the left. Otherwise that rear can go chasing. Just lift through the right, a bit wide on that occasion. There we go, carrying some fire into that right-hander on the braking. That was more like it, being a bit more aggressive. That time seems to be better as well. We go through. Left-hand kink and onto the penultimate lap of this race. Lifting very early. For that kink, you're going to go a little rise and then the big rise. Where you get off the air, so you're going to lift for the little rise. Barely lift for those right-handers now. Okay, much more speed over them. But then we've got to lift for that left into this right, which of course is a big lift. So you can carry more speed through the right-hander, but it kind of compromises you for the next couple of corners. Definitely fell out for this right-hander though, and it doesn't matter. Speed going into the next left. So you've got that's much better blending off the throttle through the right. And into the left, through the right. Minimum speed around 120 there, a bit faster. So yeah, no need to go down the fourth. Otherwise the engine will hate us. Here we go, a bit more cautious into this right-hander on this lap. That's better, around 90 miles per hour though speed there. But again, we're a bit wide of the apex. Just wanted to make sure we go through that right-hander. That's probably my favourite corner on this circuit, that right-hander. Such vicious braking into that corner. And then you've got the walls either side as well. And as you've seen, if you mess up, you're heading towards that wall. So fantastic braking, so which you can be aggressive with, but not too much. You've got the crowd either side, walls either side. It's just fantastic right-hand corner, that is. Not to take anything away from all the sweepers we've got around here and all the bends and kinks. Such as this left-hander. It's a good challenge. Maybe not once you figured it out though. Like I think I've done now. As you brake to around 40 miles per hour for the hairpin. And accelerate away. Nicely on the power. We go through the right-hander. You go lifting in fifth. Then up to sit through the right. That actually seemed pretty good. I'll have to try that again on the final lap. So lift slightly through the left and into the right. It's a bit wide for that final right-hander. Accelerate away. And through the right. That compression kind of reminds me of the reverse of what happens at Triangle at the beginning, where you're going downhill so dramatically that you need to lift. This time you're going uphill, so it's not as dramatic as well. Oh, the elevation change, but still you've got to lift, otherwise you're losing that rear and fighting it through the left, which is about, you're not going to win most of the time. Let's go for the final corner onto the final lap. I feel like our lap times have been much better the last couple of laps compared to the first two. There we go, good lift over the bump. You can probably be much more aggressive over that bump, but I don't know. I want to try that. Maybe try that in practice rather than an actual event. So you lift through the right-hander. Accelerate away. For the next right, definitely flat out. And almost clipped the fence on the inside there. On that left-hander. That just appears out of nowhere, doesn't it? Very easy to do that. To go min speed of 121 now. It's going up a mile per hour every lap, it seems like. Min speed through that right hand kink. Go get the speed up to over 180. We're braking for the right hander. They go much smoother on the brakes. Min speed of only 97 then. Almost kept it in triple figures all the way. So you can definitely do it through that right hander. Just at the moment, confident enough. Especially this being the final lap as well. I don't want to be messing up. Going too much speed into corners. And give that rear a reason to lose itself. Let's look at all the dirt on the windscreen as well on this final lap. It's not as bad as the previous race, but still. Kind of hard to look for at times. There we go, blending off that throttle. Nicely done again. And braking into the hairpin, using all that engine braking as well to get down from 6th to 1st gear. And accelerate away, that's nicely done. Then up to 5th, and then lift through the left. And get on the power. Then 6th through the right. Oh, that definitely feels much better. Maybe losing some miles per hour going into the right, but that's a good run through there. Go through the left, right. Get all the anchors into the ground for this right-hander. Felt like it can a bit more speed. Too much speed going into the braking there, but not too bad in the end. Again, we're taking that line being narrow out of the right-hander, then opening up that corner. Getting to taking it. Go for the left, bit wide. These couple of corners, not really sure how to take them. We can probably be flat through that right-hander as well. Definitely learning places where we can be much more aggressive. Such as that penultimate corner, look at that, carrying good speed through it. In 2nd gear, as we go for the final kink. And cross the line. In 17:24. Is that faster than our previous attempts? We do a fast lap of 3:25.3. And we win by almost 2 minutes. That was a bit scary when it was opening up. We've definitely got the lift through this right-hander. You're down to 3rd.